Hey everyone, I am recording this afternoon for the Peaceful Dragon. My name is Carolyn Crow. I'm one of the instructors at the Dragon. You might have met me in class at one point or another, but since we've had some changes to the schedule, I'm going to record the yoga sessions for us for the next week at least, and wanted to just make sure that when you're practicing at home, you're completely comfortable like you would be when you attend class at the Peaceful Dragon. Some of us may be practicing from home, and if you don't have a hard, quiet space, like a hard floor to practice on, no worries. Feel free to find a spot, maybe on carpet, set your mat out, and for just a couple of minutes. You may pause this video if you would like. Just kind of notice the ground that's underneath you. It's certainly going to be different than when you practice in the studio. Balance might be a little bit different or a struggle, but feel free to modify as needed given your home space and situation. Make sure before you start to practice, if you need a chair, a block, or some other prop, maybe a strap or a towel or a blanket, you have that available. And again, you can always pause this video at any moment, take care of things at home that need to be handled, and come back whenever you're ready. There's no need to be distracted. So if you're able to have a quiet time for the next hour, that would be excellent. But again, you're always welcome to come back to this video, pause, reset, and come back to the space. So happy to practice with you today, and I'm excited to hear any of your feedback when we do have classes back in session. So starting out this afternoon, we're going to take a warm-up. I'll demo some of the postures, but of course, just as a regular yoga class, it's always best for you to remain focused on the voice of your instructor, the cues that are given, and stay in your space. But again, I will demo just like a normal regular class, just in case you get lost or the instructions are not clear on my part. So anyway, come to a standing posture at the top of your mat whenever you're ready. And as you stand at the top of the mat, maybe you bring those toes together to touch and let those hands relax down at the side. Feel the weight underneath your feet. Again, maybe paying attention and noticing the difference in surface from your home practice, whether you're outside, on a carpeted floor, linoleum, or hardwood. Just pay attention and notice how that feels underneath you. Take a few breaths. Let the chin drop just slightly toward the chest. Smooth inhale through the nose. Smooth exhale out the nose. And for the next few rounds of breath, if you're finding it a struggle to settle the mind or the body in the space, you're welcome to take an inhale deep, maybe pause and hold that inhale at the top of the breath. Exhale, sigh that breath out long out the mouth, just a reset. When you're ready, take another deep, long inhale through the nose. Exhale out the nose. And from that standing position at the top of the mat, next, inhale, press those palms together and reach the hands up high overhead. Your eyes are going to glance up at those thumbs. Feel the length of the spine as you push weight all the way into those feet. Make sure you're strong and stable even as you extend, spine long, heart reaching up toward the sky. Grow long through one more inhale, and on an exhale, forward fold. You're welcome to pause in this forward fold, still noticing the surface underneath the feet. As you fold, maybe hands come down to the shins, maybe hands reach all the way down to the ground. If this posture is creating too much tension for you, go ahead and wrap the arms behind the knees. Paying attention to length in the spine from the tailbone all the way down to the crown of the head. Still breathing here. Smooth inhale through the nose. Exhale out the nose. Few more breaths right where you're at. Let everything go. On your next inhale, find a halfway lift from your forward fold. For you, that might mean hands come a little bit up higher toward the thighs. Maybe it's on the shins. As you halfway lift, find that length in the spine once more. Crown of the head and the heart are reaching long toward the top of your mat. Inhale, exhale here. On your exhale, go ahead and bring those hands all the way down to the mat, whatever way works for you. That might mean bending the knees. Still looking forward, pull the shoulder blades in, back, and down away from the ears, and you will step or fly back, coming into Chaturanga Dandasana, which is elbows bent, halfway down toward the ground from your high plank to low plank. Come all the way down to the mat, elbows hug the ribs. Inhale, your choice of a back bend, Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog. Linger always in this back bend if you would like. And then when you're ready, take your time, lifting up and coming into your down dog. Down dog. Stay in that posture for a few breaths. Make sure weight is completely into the hands and the feet, 50-50, even out. Use all 4 points of contact with the ground to hold this posture. Return to smooth inhale through the nose. Exhale out the nose. Take one more smooth deep breath at your pace. There's no rush. You don't have to follow my cues exactly to the timing. Move with your breath. On your next inhale, look toward the top of the mat. Put weight all the way into those hands. Step or fly, toes up to meet those hands. Find that halfway lift posture that we just looked at before. On your exhale, forward fold. Next, inhale, palms press once more, standing all the way up, glancing at those thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take this sun salutation A once more. I'll lessen the cues and demo for you, and you can follow along at your pace. So again, coming to the top of the mat, toes touch, hands are relaxed at the side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, palms press, reaching up high toward the ceiling or the sky, heart opens.
Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find that halfway lift. On your exhale, step or fly back. Inhale, back bend of your choice, either Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog. Exhale to Down Dog. Count out 5 of your deepest breaths in your Down Dog. After your 5th breath, you're going to step, walk, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift as you arrive. Exhale, forward fold. Next, inhale, palms press, reach those hands up high overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. So good. As those hands come to heart center, bend the knees, reach those palms up high once more, glancing toward the thumbs for Utkatasana, fierce pose. As you bend into the knees, reach heart toward the sky. 3 smooth breaths. Inhale and exhale. Take one more breath in your Utkatasana. Bring hands to heart center. Lunge the right knee all the way to the back of the mat. Heels in line with one another as you cartwheel the hands open for Virabhadasana Warrior 2. Hold. Deep, deep bend into that left knee. Really press into the outside blade of the right foot. Open heart toward the side of your mat, even as you gaze over those left fingertips. One more breath, hold. On an inhale, straighten the left leg. Pivot on the left heel, so toes point toward the top right corner of your mat. Spin on the right heel, so toes point up high toward the ceiling, staying deeply bent in the left leg for Rudrasana, archer. Find your traditional archer arms. Pull back on the bowstring with the left arm. Gaze over the right thumb. Hold this posture, pulling the hip creases toward the right edge of your mat. One more breath. You're doing super excellent. When you're ready, on an exhale, release those right toes down to the mat. Pivot on the left heel to point the toes back forward toward the front of your mat. Square those hips to the front of the mat, palms press. Reach those hands up high once more as you deeply bend into that left knee for Virabhadasana, Warrior 1. If this is not comfortable with heels in line with one another, you may step that right foot out wide. And you might adjust different than you would in the studio if you have a different surface type that you're practicing on. Take one more inhale. Reach heart toward those thumbs. On an exhale, hands come to heart center, coming all the way to standing on that left foot. Straight left leg as right heel reaches to the back of your mat. for Virabhadrasana. 3, grounded warrior. Hands are down, fold. Left side rib cage toward left thigh. Staying in this posture. Warrior 3, grounded warrior. 3 breaths at least. So good. After your 3rd breath, you're going to drop that right foot so that it comes across behind the left ankle for a sciatic stretch. Left leg will be crossed in front of the right. Find a place where those hands are on a surface, maybe on your shins, maybe 2 blocks, maybe all the way down toward the ground. Breathe in your sciatic stretch. On an inhale, halfway lift, unwind those feet. Hands are down on the ground so you can step or fly back into a high plank. As you come into your high plank, we're going to put weight into the left hand, stacking the wrist directly underneath the left shoulder. Left heel takes the weight of the back foot. Maybe you stack right heel on top of left. Maybe you use that right foot in front of the left thigh to hold. Left side plank. You may also vinyasa. Take 1 inhale through the nose. Exhale out the nose. And then when you're ready, step the right foot up to the top of the mat. Spin that left heel flat. Cartwheel the hands up and open for Virabhadrasana, Warrior 2. We're setting up to do the same postures on the opposite side. Deep, deep bend in that right knee. Warrior 2. Take 1 more breath. And then on an inhale, straighten the right knee. Pivot on the right heel to face the left corner of the mat. Toes are pointed toward the corner. Spin on the left heel so toes point up high toward the ceiling. Finding Rudrasana, archer, on the opposite side. You'll be facing the long left side of your mat. Traditional archer arms. Maybe right hand pulls back on that bowstring. Left hand, thumb inside fist, reaches out wide, looking over the left thumb. Open the heart, pull those hip creases toward the edge of your mat as you sink deeper into that right knee. 1 more inhale. And exhale here. Next breath. Drop those left toes flat. Turn on the right heel so toes point forward toward the top of your mat. Square those hips forward toward the front of your mat for Virabhadrasana, Warrior 1. Palms press, reaching up high overhead. Again, opening the heart, looking toward the thumbs, toward the sky. Okay to adjust as you arrive in this posture. Feet can be wide as your yoga mat. 2 breaths.
after your second breath. Fold, hands down toward the right foot, straightening the right leg. We're going to stand on that left leg, reaching the left heel to the back of our mat for Grounded Warrior Virabhadrasana 3. Whatever way you arrive in this posture, find a place where hands are on a surface, maybe all the way down on the mat. If you don't have blocks to place the hands flat, explore. Maybe you take a micro bend of the knee so hands can come all the way down. You want to be as stable, as grounded as possible. Since we're dealing with different situations, each of us practicing on our own at home, it is okay to make sure that you are safe in your body, in your space. Do it as intuitive and natural where you're at. One more inhale as you keep that strong left leg lifted. On your exhale, you're going to start to come with that left foot up to meet the right. Cross the ankles so that the outside edges of the feet touch. Right foot is crossed in front of the left, deeply at the top of the thighs for a sciatic stretch. Again, it is okay here, since you're practicing at home and may not have the same blocks and props, to find a place where those hands are down and stable. It may mean stepping the feet out wider. It may mean exploring other shapes. Perhaps you bend the knees out wide, bring the hands all the way down and find a cross-legged crow. This is your opportunity to play around with the sequence. Again, you can pause at any point and come back. Take one more breath with the right leg deeply crossed in front of the left. On an inhale, find a place where those hands are flat, halfway lift. Unwind those feet and forward fold at the top of your mat. Once more on an inhale, halfway lift. Find those hands all the way down on the mat. Step or fly back through your high plank. Puff up, strong in between the shoulders, and come onto the right hand, right blade of foot for a right side holding plank. Or if you had it before, maybe a right side down vinyasa. Inhale, lift hips high. Exhale, let hips sink. One breath. And then as you make your way through your high plank, maybe you'd like to find a belly down vinyasa. Exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana, Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog as your back bend. And then when you're ready, hands come to either side of the ribs, push up through high plank, exhale to down dog. Hold your down dog. Come back to smooth, silky breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the nose. Take one more breath in your down dog. And just as we did in the warm-up, in your sun salutation A, start to look forward toward the top of your mat. Weight is coming a little bit more into the hands. Start to bend those elbows. Maybe you come up high on the toe pads. Step or flat to the top of your mat.
Inhale, halfway lift as you rise. Exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, palms press. Reach those hands up high overhead. As you find Utkatasana, fierce pose once more. This is our second time in the posture, so you're welcome to find a different hand mudra or arm bind that would feel good to you. Sink deep into those hips. Reach the heart high. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Step the left toes back behind you. Shorter distance, perhaps all 10 toes point forward toward the top of your mat. On your inhale, reach with heart. Exhale, fold over that straight right leg for Parsvottanasana, intense leg stretch. Again, this is another place to find a surface for the hands. Maybe you grab 2 blocks. Maybe you rest those hands in this situation on the shin. Fold and breathe. Two more breaths in your Parsvottanasana, intense leg stretch. After your second breath, on an inhale, halfway lift. A little bit different than we did at the beginning of class, but still reaching heart toward the top of your mat. You're going to take a slight bend of the right knee, drop left knee down toward the mat, unwind the foot so the shoelace part is flat. Reach those right toes all the way to the top of the mat, finding Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. As you fold over that straight right leg, breathe. Walk the hands all the way up toward the right toes. Another opportunity for blocks if you need it. Breathe the entire length of the right leg. Inhale from the toes to the right hip. Exhale from the right hip out the toes. Take 2 more breaths in your half splits. As you conclude your half splits posture on the right side, inhale, once more, halfway lift. Reach the heart forward, hands are down on the mat if you can. And then we're going to sit back on the inside of the left calf flesh. You can push the left calf flesh away. Shoelace part of the left foot is still flat. Arch of the foot is around the left hip, as close as you possibly can. This is a posture where if you have any stress on the knee joints, on the ankle or the foot, make sure you sit on a block and give some space to those joints on the left side. Perfectly okay. If you're sitting on a block, you're reaching spine long, rotating inner thighs in toward one another. If this is comfortable to sit all the way down on the floor, you can recline back all the way down to the spine, or maybe resting on the elbows. If that does not feel super awesome, feel free to reach forward toward the right toes and reach crown of head toward those toes. Ardha Virasana, half hero. Taking 2 breaths at least in your half hero's pose. Wherever you've taken this posture, take your time to slowly rise back up to seated. Take any blocks or props from underneath the hips. As you shift weight forward into the right foot through a low lunge shape, you'll heel toe walk your right foot all the way over to the opposite edge of the mat. Sit on that right hip for Eka Pada Kapotasana. As you arrive in this Kapotasana, don't worry about the back left leg. It can go wherever feels suitable to you. You may fold over that straight right shin. If you arrive at this shape and it's not good for you, especially practicing at home, bend the left knee, foot is flat on the ground. Take the right leg up and over that left thigh and simply fold from a seated posture. Breathe. Push breath deep, deep into that right hip. Close the eyes. Settle. One more of your deepest breath. Smooth inhale through the nose. Smooth exhale out the nose. And no matter where you've taken this posture, we're going to make our way back into low lunge on the right side. So shift weight forward, heel toe walk. The right foot back underneath that hip. Hands are on either side of the right foot. Tuck up high on the back left toes. Step right toes back to meet the left. Puff up in between the shoulder blades through your high plank and come onto your right side holding plank or right side down vinyasa. You may take this into a forearm plank with the full surface of the forearm, fingertips pointed toward the top of your mat, down. Again, we're doing a home practice. This is always an opportunity to explore different shapes, so long as you feel capable and ready. One more, inhale, in the right side plank that you've chose. When you're ready, turn back into your high plank. Opportunity here for a belly down vinyasa if you'd like, or meet us in down dog. Count your 3 breaths. From that down dog, we're going to step the left foot short distance toward the top of your mat. We're changing sides, working the opposite left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold for Parsvottanasana. Again, you have a shorter stance of the legs, triangular shape maybe. Right toes point forward toward the top of your mat. Left hip pulls back into its socket. Breathe the full length of that left leg.
One more breath in your Parsvottanasana. Intense leg stretch. And then when you're ready, inhale, halfway lift. Place that right knee down on the mat as you start to take a bend of the left knee for Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. As the right knee comes down, right shin bone is firmly grounded into the mat. Shoelace part of the right foot is flat. Left toes extend all the way forward toward the top of your mat. Pull those left toes up toward your face and fold. Come back to breath. One more inhale. One more exhale at your pace. Again, next inhale, find those hands all the way down. If you can, halfway lift. Reach with the heart forward toward the top of the mat. And then sit back on the inside of that right calf flesh. Left toes will be forward toward the top of your mat. For Ardha Virasana, you may take Supta Ardha Virasana, recline. Always find enough time to place blocks or props underneath the hips, maybe a towel into the tight space to give cushion to the knee. Forward fold, recline back. Choose what shape works best for you. Hips are always different. Breathe. Two more breaths. After your second breath, inhale, start to shift weight forward into the left foot. Take your time, there is no rush here. To come into Eka Pada Kapotasana, pigeon. Heel toe, walk the left foot toward the right edge of your mat. Sit on that left hip. And then find a comfortable place where you can fold over that straight left shin. Maybe right leg is at a 90-degree angle. Maybe you can sit all the way on that left hip and extend the right toes to the back of the mat. Either option is good. Maybe you bend that right knee, right foot flat on the mat, and take the left ankle up and over the right thigh. Continue to breathe. Inflate all the tight spaces of the left hip as you pull heart forward toward the left shin. Two more of your deepest breaths. Let everything go. After your second breath, you're going to heel toe walk that left foot back underneath the left hip. Hands will come to either side of the left toes. Tuck up high on the back right toes. Step left toes back to meet the right through a high plank. Find your belly down vinyasa. Maybe you take that 3 count of breath. Exhale, lower, belly down to the mat. Inhale for Sphinx. cobra or up dog. No matter what, we're all meeting. Exhale into down dog. You may always take your belly down vinyasas on the knees, keeping those toes pressed firmly into the earth. You may always linger in the back bend of your choice. No right or wrong answer. Find your breath. Slow everything down to your pace with that belly down vinyasa. As you arrive in your down dog, we're going to make our way to seated on the mat. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do that. Same thing we did as we stepped or jumped toward the top of the mat. You might bend the elbows, you might start to bend the knees so you're up high on those toes. You can jump through to seated, crossing the ankles, or you can drop knees down to the mat, cross the ankles, and bring those feet forward to any easy seated posture. And we're going to modify shoulder stretches. So if you're familiar with your Akabuja 1s and 2s, you may feel free to take that in this space, moving when I transition postures. But since we're on the video and in a home practice, and it's a little bit harder to see some of the more subtlety of a shoulder stretch, we're gonna start out for these first couple of demos, seated shoulder stretches. So our first one will be Padmasana to work into the back of the shoulder. Keeping those knees flat. Take feet flat, knees bent. Take left hand, thumb inside fist. You might heel toe walk the feet together so knees are touching, but find the position that is comfortable for you. Take the left elbow, match it to the right knee. You want as little space between the rib cage and the thigh as you can, and then you're going to rest that left chin, on the outside of the left wrist, and then breathe. Close the eyes, adjust as needed as breath opens up that shoulder for you. Two more breaths. And your left side, Padmasana, or if you're taking Akabuja 1. Making our way into our next left side shoulder stretch, which is a deep cross of the shoulder. So same left arm, you're going to cross that along the chest. As we're seated in this one, we're going to take a scarf bind. Maybe the left fingertips reach to in between the shoulder blades. Take that same right hand back behind you. If you are able to, bind fingertips together. If you cannot, no worries. Just grab something behind you, maybe your shirt, maybe you take a strap back there, so long as you're pulling those elbows down toward the ground, down toward the hips. And then play around with the position of the chin. Maybe it's dropped. And then breathe. Continuing to pull the shoulders in, back, and down. If you found your Akabuja 2, again, continue to rotate so that that right shoulder might one day touch the inside of the left elbow. Let those shoulders glide just slightly apart.
One more breath. And no matter if you're in the scarf bind or Akabujia 2, release. Take your time. Unwind. If being seated for this long has you antsy, go ahead and wiggle. If you're on the ground and you need a couple of breaths from your Akabujia 1 and 2, feel free to take it on the belly. And then we're making our way into either right side scarf bind, right side Padmasana, or right side Akabujia 1 on the ground. If you know it, you may go. So right side Padmasana, thumb and side fist, reach the right elbow to the left knee. Rest the chin on the outside bony part of the right wrist. Close the eyes and breathe. Let breath move to the back of that shoulder. Wherever you've taken the shoulder stretch posture, on your next breath, release. Finding that deep cross shoulder stretch on the right side. Again, it might be scarf bind, reaching the right arm across the chest, fingertips toward the inside of the shoulder blades, left hand back and around, pulling the shoulder blades apart by pulling shoulders and elbows down toward the hips. If you've taken a deep shoulder cross on the ground in Akabujia 2, find that now, and then breathe. Two more breaths. After your second breath, slowly unwind and release, whatever way works for you. We're beginning to slow down the practice, unwinding all the doing, the activity from the beginning of class, making our way closer and closer to the ground to settle toward final rest. Another breath wherever you need it. If you've come onto the belly, onto the ground, maybe come back up through a tabletop, back towards seated. And then we'll find a few twists. So the first option of a twist will be right toes forward toward the top of the mat. Pull that left leg close to the sits bone, the hip. Foot is flat, knee is bent up high toward the ceiling. It doesn't have to be deep. If wider and more cushion in between the thigh and the back of the shin feels better to you, feel free to take it. And you're going to reach right hand around that knee and twist to turn toward the back of your mat. See if you can find both sits bones flat on the earth, even. If you want to take this deeper, again, you can close the gap of the knee. You can push the knee through center, reach that right arm up and over. The other sit bone will come up off of the ground as you push weight into that right foot. We're just getting a spinal twist So no matter where you're at, no worries. Take this to the depth that you would like. Explore the posture. There's no right or wrong so long as you're keeping your body safe and secure. And the way to do that is with intentional breath. 2 more breaths here in your twisted posture. On your last breath, inhale through the nose. Exhale and sigh the breath out the mouth. Let everything go. As you unwind after your exhale, switch sides. Left toes point forward toward the top of your mat. Right leg is bent. Maybe both sits bones are on the earth. Maybe the gap from the back of the shin toward the thigh is close. Maybe it's wide. Either way, you're taking the left arm up and over. Take this to the depth and the extension that you have. If your knee is out wide, you might be twisting and keeping both sits bones grounded so that you can feel and notice the spine. If you need further to go, maybe you close the gap of the shin and the thigh, push that knee through center, and bind the left arm up and over the thigh. Either way, you're twisting to look toward the back of your mat. Find intentional breath. You're twisting, the internal organs are in a different place than when you're standing with no constriction. Find deep, deep breath. Slow everything down. 2 more breaths. And on your second breath, inhale through the nose. Exhale, maybe sigh that breath out the mouth. Unwind and release. Reach both sets of toes forward toward the top of your mat for a forward fold. This will look different for everyone. Maybe you reach hands to the outside blades of the feet. Maybe you take 2 peace fingers of each hand to the big toes. Either way, you're pulling shoulder blades in, back, and down, starting to bend elbows. Forehead will go toward kneecaps. Long, long spine, still reaching heart. If this is super tight and uncomfortable to you, your next option would be to bend the knees, hug elbows around those knees, and make sure you have a long spine by hugging thighs to ribs. Again, let the head go. Forehead to kneecaps or shins. Breathe. Three more breaths, slow. After your third breath, you have options of closing posture. You may lie on the spine, pull the knees into the chest, extend those arms out, palms facing the ground like a T, and drop knees to one side as eyeballs look to the other side. On your exhale, inhale, knees back through center, and then exhale, knees to the opposite side of your mat as your eyeballs glance toward the other side. Take whatever closing postures feel good to you. If you have an inversion practice, you may feel free to take that here. You can find bridge pose with feet flat on the ground, knees up high, shoulder blades pressing into the earth, and lifting hips up high toward the sky. If you have shoulder stand, from there, you may take that, pressing those shoulders into the earth and reaching the toes up toward the sky. If you feel safe and comfortable in the space that you have at your home practice, maybe you find shoulder headstand with forearms flat on the ground, fingers interlaced, head lightly touching the earth, and pull those hips and feet up high toward the sky. Again, choose what is best for you. Maybe you have a space in your home practice where you can put feet against the wall. You can always do this lying down on the ground and putting the feet up, heels up high on a chair or a wall. I'll pause here and give you 10 to 15 breaths to choose a closing posture that you would like. Anything that helps you to settle mind, body, come back to a slow, intentional breath. Take your time unwinding from your final posture. There's no rush. I'm going to cue a pranayama for us to close, and then I'll give you space and a pause in the stop to the recording. Set a calendar or a clock for 5 minutes for your shavasana. Take as much time as you'd like. So making our way into pranayama from your inversion, if you'd like to take any easy seated posture, you may even do this from a chair if the ground and the surface that you have at home is not comfortable. Take 2 peace fingers of the left hand over the left knee, 2 peace fingers of the right hand to the hairline. Take that right thumb, close the right nostril. Inhale, slow through the left side. Close the left nostril with the ring finger. Exhale out the right side. Inhale back through the right nostril. Switch fingers. Exhale out the left nostril. Inhale, slow left. And then continue to repeat that alternate nostril breathing. If you have an experienced practice and you would like, you can add a pause at the top of the inhale and at the bottom of the exhale. You can count your breath and see what feels the best and most comfortable to you, evening out inhales and exhales to the same count. You can do bandhas if you have that in your practice. Feel free to make the next few breaths of pranayama yours to explore. Continue
your pranayama for as long as you would like. Again, you're practicing at home. You may always pause the video. We're going to be stopping it soon to make our way into Shavasana. So if the breath work and seated meditation feel best to you, feel free to have it. I'm going to conclude our class prior to Shavasana with an Om. When you're ready, after you've unwound your breath work, bring hands to heart center, thumbs pressed toward the chest. Close the eyes, tuck the chin just slightly, and repeat after me on the inhale. May the light in me be with you. Find your Shavasana. Thank you for practicing with me.